Okay, once again, good morning, and welcome to the second section of this intensive prospecting and closing mentorship class organized by POREC Properties Limited. Like I said yesterday, this is to enhance a better performance by our affiliates here at POREC Properties Limited. We want the best for our affiliates, and that's why we put this structure in place. A one-on-one, intensive mentorship class, mentorship to all our affiliates and salespersons. Okay, let's just begin right away so that we can save some time.
Okay, sir.
Okay, prospecting. Prospecting is, like I said yesterday during the session yesterday, I was saying how that real estate interactions can be divided into two-part cycle, and that's prospecting and closing deal. Prospecting,
exactly.
Closing deal. Every other thing we do in real estate is around those two. The reason there is a technical personnel in real estate is because there is a land to sell. There is a house to sell. The reason there is a sales director is because there is a place to sell. The reason there is a marketer is because there is something to market. The reason there is a CEO is because there is a company to manage. Without prospecting and closing deal, all those offices and positions will be of non-effect. So we must master the basics of finding new clients. Prospecting actually basically means finding new clients. Finding new clients. One common thread links the newest real estate salesperson to the most seasoned commercial real estate person. Both those who have been in business for a long time and those who are joining for the first time, they all have the same need. And that's the need to acquire new clients and maintain existing relationships. A bulk of real estate, salesperson and affiliates are not making the measure of success that they ought to make in the business simply because, they have failed to give earnest attention to that place of, making new clients and maintaining existing relationships. Now, without clients, you don't have a business, and that's very clear. Without clients, you are not an affiliate. What makes you an affiliate is that you can bring clients to the company. So no clients, no affiliates. So you don't have a business. So prospecting is the lifeblood of any real estate firm. The lifeblood of any real estate firm is prospecting. In fact, the lifeblood of any business whatsoever is prospecting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you can't make new clients, you can't make new customers, the business will die very soon.
Exactly.
The same thing happens to real estate affiliates too. So sales prospecting, we can define prospect as qualified contacts. When you say who is a prospect, prospect is a qualified contact who can enter the sales process because they meet certain criteria outlined in your company's ideal customer profile. Now, it's not everybody in your contact list that can be a prospect, that you can call a prospect. So it's not everybody within our network that you can call a prospect. A prospect is a qualified contact. There are things that qualifies somebody to say, okay, this person is a prospect. There are qualities, that you must look at before you can say, okay, this is a person that can enter into the sales process because it meets certain criteria outlined in your company's ideal customer profile. We have ideal customer profile, that I will share with us as this class goes on. Now, sales prospecting is the process of identifying and communicating with potential customers to generate new business. You can have 2,000 contacts on your list. I mean names on your contacts, on your phone. You might not have up to 10 who are actually qualified prospects. So your WhatsApp status will be a waste because you are posting status for persons who are not qualified to be a prospect, to be your prospects. So it involves process of identifying and communicating with potential customers to generate new business. Sales representative or affiliate prospect by finding and engaging with targets, qualified leads, to decide whether to move them through the sales funnel or not. So a bulk of where most of us get it wrong is we just believe that everybody in your contacts is a prospect. No, it's not everybody in your contact that is a prospect. You need to qualify them and then find a way to engage with targets with them to decide whether to move them through. It's not everybody you move through the sales funnel. Some people just frustrate your efforts. So in this class, we'll look at who is a prospect and what does it mean to prospect. How do you prospect? What is the process of prospecting? That's the essence of this class. The next slide, why is strategic prospecting so important? Why should I not just go on the streets and begin to clamor? Everybody come and buy Lando. I'm selling Lando. I have land at Shao. I have land at Bala. I have land at... No, you won't get, that's not strategic enough. A friend of mine, a brother of mine, we were talking some months ago, and he told me how that they did a billboard close to ShopRite in Ilorin, and they spent a huge amount of money to do that billboard. At the end of the month, tenure of that, the month, agreement that the billboard was supposed to stay, he said the billboard had attracted more government agency and tax officers than clients. That to me is because it's supposed to be strategic, but maybe it's not like that again. Things have moved on. We are not so much in the days of traditional advertising things again. We have come to the days of social media and in digital marketing, where you can target things straight to the people that needs it. So you need to know, how to strategically prospect, and it's very important. Very, very important. Firstly, a strategic approach to prospecting helps sales fill in the pipeline with high quality opportunities. Mark the word, high quality opportunities, which in turn helps marketers increase their conversion rates. A prospecting strategy is vital not only to ensure the return on your time and investment, but also to align sales and marketing. Sales and marketing are two different things. Sales and marketing are two different things that if you cannot divide accurately, you will waste your time and your resources, and yet you won't make anything out of it. So secondly, the insights sales gets from engaging with the right prospects on the right channels informs marketing on what topics, what types of content are relevant to your ideal audience. You need to look at insights. For instance, I ran an advert for somebody some years back. They are into food processing business and all that. So I ran an advert for them. He requests that I help him run a Facebook advert, over his product. So we did the first one. When we did it, I checked the insights, and I found out that where he wants us to target, the kind of people he wants me to target, are not people who are really interested in buying things online. So I told him, I began to advise him how better to reach those kind of people, the kind of platform to use to reach those kind of people. Otherwise, you will spend a bulk of money on adverts and you won't make anything out of it. So inside sales gets from, that you get from engaging with the right prospects on the right channels. informs marketing on what topics and types of content are relevant to your ideal audience. There are some audience that, you know, the things you post are not relevant to them. They are not relevant. They will just see it and pass by. And that's why they will not check to even say, okay, how much is that land? Is there a discount on it and all that? Because it's not even what they want. It's not what they're looking at. So lastly, prospecting strategies shorten selling cycles and help create effective marketing campaigns that attract more of your potential buyers. If, for instance, out of the 2,000 lists you have on your contact, you can run through them and check out maybe 20 who you can qualify. You can look at, you know, I'll give us qualities to look at. You can look at qualities to look at and say, okay, this person is qualified. Number one. This number 2 is qualified. Number 3 is qualified. Number 10. If only 10 persons are the people you can qualify, and then you central your marketing towards them, you will make a huge more results, a more huge result than when you just broadcast. So prospecting entails, you know, or strategic prospecting shortens selling cycles, and it helps you to create effective marketing campaigns that attract more of your potential buyers. Now, real estate prospecting process. Let me take you through some, you know, prospecting processes that, you know, we've been using in our company here, and I've seen also used in other real estate firms. These are basics, you know, of finding new clients. Which the first thing is building a prospect list. And as I'm teaching like this, as I'm going through this training, I want us all to, you know, get practical with it. We need to get practical at this session now. It's going to be a practical one. You know, building a prospect. How do you build a prospect list? There is difference between your prospect list and your contact list. Like I said earlier, you can have 1,000 persons on your contact list. You may not have more than 10 prospects. So before you start marketing, develop a solid strategy based on 2 essential elements: determining who your prospect is and what you are going to say. Is very key. Who are your prospects and what are you going to say? You can have the best list in the market, but if you cannot clearly articulate the value of what you are offering to your audience, your great list is worthless. And that's very true. That's very, very true. So you have to start by defining your target market. The more specific you are, or you can make your market, the easier it will be to prospect synergistically. Now, let me give you an example. Sometimes in July this year, you know, POREC decided that our land in Akwo will increase in price from 350,000 naira to 450,000 naira. And I saw that as a huge opportunity to make huge sales. I saw it as a huge opportunity. So I went to the land, I made a video, you know, of myself on the land. And what I did is I came back home, checked my contact list, and then I listed out about 12 names of persons that I know would be definitely interested. And then I wrote a copy, you know, a copyright, you know, to them, and then I sent it to the 10 of them with the video alongside with it. At the end of the day, out of the 10, 5 of them made payment that week for the land. The remaining 5, we are still talking till now. They are still interested in buying. So it is very important to build a prospect list. Don't just broadcast anyhow. Build your prospect list. Your broadcast list should contain prospects, not just everybody. It should contain your prospects. So the first thing I want us to do, you know, in this class is that every one of us begin to build a prospect list. Run through your contacts. Look at those who you know can afford the property, and they need the property or the product you have. Then list their names. Write numbering of lists, maybe from 1 to 100 or 1 to 20, It doesn't matter how many you have. List it first. That's where to begin. And let's move on. Attributes of hot qualified. How do you know one is a hot qualified prospect? See, I've tested this thing. It has worked. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, thank you very much. These attributes I'm going to be sharing with us. I have tried it. I have used it. It has worked always. It has always worked. It has always worked. Every time we do it, it has always worked. So it is a sure, all qualifying, statistics. The first thing is that the person needs real estate services. How do you know somebody that needs a real estate services? Do you think the person has enough money that he can invest into real estate? Where does he work? How much is he earning per month? What kind of car is he using or is she using? What kind of work is he doing? Does he have money he can be willing to invest into real estate? That's how you know if he needs real estate services. Second one is, if you know he needs real estate services, he knows. It's one thing for you to know, it's another thing for him to know, or him or her to know. So does he know that he needs real estate services? And thirdly, does he have the authority to act on his need? I've had persons, young persons, who are into cryptocurrencies and into stocks that have the money, but they don't have the authority to act on their needs. Some of them, their parents do not allow them to buy properties for one reason or the other, maybe for the experience that the dad already had with a money. And we tell the son, don't put your money on land. It's not safe. And if land is not safe, I wonder what is safe. So on that basis, he may have the need, he may know he has the need, but he may not have the authority to act on his need at the moment. Then number 4 is, does he have the budget to back up his authority? Within his budget, does he have the budget to back up the authority to act on his need? Number 5, does he feel a sense of urgency to act? Some persons have the money, and they've been looking at, what can I invest this money to before I finish it? Those are one of the hottest prospects you can get. They have the money, they have the budget, they have the authority to act on their need. And then the question is, they have urgency in their heart because they know that if that money stays in their hands longer, they will spend it. So they're just looking for, how can I need to do something with this money. Then you just come. You have come at the rightest, at the best time, at the most accurate time. So the next one is, does he know you and like and trust you enough to give money into your hand? Does he know you? Has he done business with you before? Are you friends? And that will take me to the next thing we're going to be talking about as time goes on. The issue of your warm market, your family members, your relatives, your friends, your schoolmates. They are some of your best prospects. They are the best, they are the first set of people that we embrace what you are selling. Now, is he willing to follow your guidance? Have you won his trust? You can guide into making investments. Now, the more attribute that a person has, the more qualified as a leader. Now, if when you check these 7 attributes I listed here, now some persons have 3 of them, some have just 1. That's very weak. Some have 7. That's very, very strong. So the stronger, the number of attributes the person can mark up among these 7 is what determines how hot he is a qualified prospect. A prospect with the first couple of attributes is worth talking to, but a prospect that will take your guidance is practically a guaranteed client. However, you also want to have enough opportunity to meet your earnings goals. So don't make your target market too small. So you must broaden your target market. Don't make it too small. What I was saying last time, I said I listed out 10 names. If I had been patient enough and detailed enough to list 20 names, I might have made 10 sales out of the 20 instead of making 5 out of the 10. So you can broaden your sales list, your prospect list as much as possible. Let's move on to the next slide to save our time. Formulating your pitch. The next thing after prospecting, after making a list of your prospects, after qualifying your prospects, is formulating your pitch. What will you say to them? What will you say to who? What kind of words? How will you approach to them? Do you need to go to the land and make a video? People like to see. They like what they see. You need to go to the land and make a video, and yourself and the video, you appear in the video. And you're telling them, this is the land, this is also amount of it, So in the competitive world of real estate, your success relies on how you separate yourself from the pack, which you can accomplish with the real estate elevator pitch. Real estate elevator pitch is a brief explanation of who you are, what you do, and how you could help someone. Ideally, delivered in less than a minute. A real estate salesperson should have a real estate pitch to sell himself to potential clients at any time of a meeting. Anytime. They wake you up in the middle of the night. They said the client's waiting for you. You must know what to say to that client that will make him to follow you further. It has happened, it has worked again and again. It has worked severally and it's still working. So there are pitches. As this class goes on, during the mentorship class, I will give us examples of pitches that I personally have used and that I can guarantee will work for you. You can also formulate some too. And let's brainstorm together. Let's share, let's have it together. So on our page, we'll be having some pitches, formulating pitches that people can use for marketing, and it can work very well. So let's move on. Once you've identified your prospects, research what would interest them. It took intense amounts of work by sales marketing to get to the right person with the right message and convince them to make time for a conversation. All you have is a small window of opportunity to make your case. So your pitch needs to, I've gone to people's office before to make a pitch. Went to their offices. I had a sister who was working in General Hospital in London here, and I asked her if she can give me access to rich doctors, medical doctors. And I was going to their offices. I was talking to them, and they were really, really encouraged. I mean, they embraced what I brought. They embraced it. Why? Because I went to meet them where they are. You must know where your clients are. You must know where. Some of us, our clients are in our offices. Our clients are in banks, and you're on the internet. Your clients, some of those clients are in stadium, sports centers, golf club. You've got to find them where they are. Go and meet them where they are. Seek an audience with them. The way you approach them matters. Don't dress like a nigger when you are going to meet a doctor in the office, or a lawyer in his office, or a banker. You dress in a way that when they see you, your dressing even itself interests them to hear you out. So you see how that is a lot of work that we have to put in place to get these things done. Follow this sales pitch checklist to ace your pitch and close this faster. These are checklists. Learn more about your prospects. You must take out time to research about your prospects. For instance, if you know how much he's earning per month, then you can sell instrumental payments to him. Wow. So how about you? I did that. I did that to a group of persons. I spoke with them, and they said, the land is costly. We can't afford to buy the land. And all that. I said, it's not that serious. We have instrumental package. In fact, it's so easy that you can pay 30,000 naira, 25,000 naira per month. And in 6 months, you own a land. The one said, hey, is this true? I said, yes, very true. And immediately, right there, she subscribed into 6 month sales. That was when our 6 months was 150,000 for Bala. She finished the 6 months last month. She didn't just do herself. She brought herself in. She brought a friend in, and they were to buy 2 plots. Now, what you may not know is that you make more money by even selling instrumental package than selling outright, even though outright gives you immediate source. But for instance, our outright sale for Bala is 150,000 per plot. I think 3 months or 3 months is 180. So somebody who is buying 3 months, you will earn 10% of 180. That's 18,000 naira compared to earning 10% of 150,000. That's 15,000 naira. So the difference is clear somehow. So you need to know your prospect, know about them, know how much they are earning, know how much they can gladly give out, per time. Then demonstrate knowledge and ask informed questions. Nothing discourage, a client or a prospect, like when he asks you a question and you couldn't get an answer for it. You are disappointed already. When they ask that property, and that's why I found real estate affiliates, working with us while in here, who doesn't even know where our land is. How do you want to convert the client? So when the client asks you, how long is the land to Oyekoni? You are eating, you say, let me call Mr. Yorinde, or let me call Mr. Daniel, or let me call Mr. Michael. No, you don't do things that way. It shows that you don't know your product. To demonstrate knowledge, you should know where the lands are. Even if you don't need to get there, ask people who are there. How many minutes is it from so place? What are the landmarks in that area? The mere hearing that Bala is around Crown University is enough for somebody who is out of the town to buy. The neighborhood, Crown University, Kamabiri Estate, Ilori International Airport. Wow, 150,000. Wow, that's interesting. How many minutes away from Ilori International Airport to the land is like 30 minutes. What? That's interesting. From Mayeriko Junction, the land is about 15 minutes. I know each of the landmarks on the way to the land. I can tell you how many minutes it will take you to get to the land from the place. And that happens to all our lands. There's no question you can ask me about our lands, about any of the land. I'll tell you, give me some minutes. No, I will give you immediate answer over it. Immediate answer over it. Over any of the lands. I had a client, I had a prospect tonight that we were talking, and was asking me, where did the land of Kwara Polytechnic end? Before we get to Akko. And I told him, I described the place to him, and I told him the back that ends Kwara Poly land on the road to Akko. And I told him where Akko land starts. And I told him why the villages are where they are. Why the school? Why you have to pass through the school gates to locate the land? It's not because there are no other land. So client or prospect wants to ask somebody, and you are not lying. You are being truthful. You are speaking on the information you have, on facts that you have in your hands, and you can prove. Are we getting me? So then keep it short. When it's too long, it will be boring. When you are making a pitch and your pitch is too long, it will be boring. You must hit the target. You must hit it hard. Bam. And you have sown a seed. You can move on. The person will be looking for you. He will be calling you. He will be calling you, sir, when can I get to see you? When can we go and see the land? You are not the one pursuing now. He's not pursuing you. Why? Because you are prospecting. You have made prospect to. You have prospected to him. You have made him a prospect. You have qualified him as a prospect in your list. Then beyond that, you have made a pitch, a killing pitch. That he cannot just escape. Then align with the buyer's journey. Just keep aligning with him. He wants to go and inspect, no problem. Don't tell him you don't have time. There are many real estate affiliates who have time. When a client said he has time and you don't have time, you are selling it off. Create time. If you are busy for the time is scheduled, you can tell, okay, can you give me so day? I'm going to take you there. Or better still, can I ask somebody to take you there for me? It's very important. Align with the buyer's journey and tailor your pitch to each audience. tailor your pitch. If you are speaking with a lawyer, you know what to say. As with the banker, you must say you must tailor your pitch to each audience. Quickly, then the next thing is making the call. You have planned, you have qualified your prospects, then you have planned what to say. The next thing is making the call. If you can't visit, you make the call. Once you have finished preparing, generate a call list so you can sit down and do your prospecting in one block of time. As you go through your call list and contact your prospects, remember the reason that you are calling, to get the prospect to sit down with you. So you are calling so that he can sit down with you and discuss with you one-on-one. You want a conversation with him. You want to close a deal. That's what you are after closing a deal. The response to your call, prospect can give you one of the 3 reactions discussed in the next slide. Let's look at it. If the client says yes, book the meeting and end the call as quickly as possible. Send the confirmation via email, and if the meeting is more than 1 week out, send additional information between your call and the appointment that adds value. That's to keep the client, to keep him renewed, in his zest. You don't allow time to lag off too much. If you give your appointment, keep reminding him, sir, I'm coming to meet you next Monday. Hope you don't forget. Confirm that he's still around. Then if the prospect isn't interested in meeting with you, find out why is he not meeting with you. Don't say no. Sir, why can't you create time for me this season, this time? If the time isn't right for them, attempt to get a sense of a better time to call. This is also an excellent opportunity for you to re-examine the value proposition that you are presenting on the phone. If it's not compelling, you probably will get a lot of uninterested responses. Sharpen your pitch and call them back in 1 to 3 months. Call them back again. I hope you don't mind. I want to come and have a pitch with you and all that. When the client asks you to send information, consider offering to send it as long as they agree to have another conversation with you to discuss it. You can send information without such a commitment, but inevitably, you will end up chasing the prospect for weeks, if not months, if you do that. Moving on. Then the next thing is evaluating your performance. After you have made the call and you have, you need to evaluate your performance so that you can do better next time. The most important thing about any prospect call is to evaluate each call when it is over. Record your notes. If possible, record your call, conversation from the call in your database, but also take the time to record what you did well and where you can use some improvements. Again, it's not about the quantity of calls you make, it's about the quantity of targeted and quality calls that you make. So you are able to evaluate yourself. Why did the person say no? What could I have said that would have made him to say yes in this case? It's very important. Very, very important. As you prospect, remember that persistence is key. Like I said yesterday, it doesn't happen, it does not just convert in 1 day. Persistence. The fact that you call 10 people and they said no does not mean that you stop. You can call the next 2 persons and they will say yes. So persistence is the key. If you don't get someone on the phone, leave them a message. Then leave another if they don't respond to the first one. If you send out a blast email, send out another one the next month. When the prospect turns you down, try again and respectfully give them another reason that a meeting would be available for them. I have captured numerous opportunities based on my persistence. And this is a personal experience I'm sharing here. True, there is a fine line between persistence and annoyance. Prospects can annoy you. You can be annoyed. But very few of us ever get near this line. We quit much too early. If you have never been called a pain, then it's highly likely you aren't calling as much as you should. If a client has not told you, you are a pain to my flesh, you are disturbing me, it means you have not possibly done enough. Every phone call you make brings you closer to your ultimate goal of winning assignments and fulfilling them. Every contact you have with the prospect increases your likelihood of securing that meeting. And that is what prospecting is all about. Ultimately, prospecting is one of the key factors in building a successful real estate business. Prospecting is key. A major factor. It's a major factor. So we will continue, this subject in next class. But with what we just said now, I believe you've got some things to begin to act upon, even now. So as soon as this slide, we finish today's class, don't wait tomorrow. Check your phone. Make a list. Number one, Mr. This. Number two, make a list of persons. Use those things I taught as qualities or attributes of a hot, prospect. Make a list out of them. And I want every one of us who are currently online, to make that list and send it to me. Do we get that? Make your list, send it to me so I can follow you up on it. You are the one that will follow up on your list. Me, I will just be following you up to make sure you are taking an action on that list. So make a list of persons, on your contacts, persons in your office, persons in your world, in your life, around you, who qualifies based on those attributes I mentioned in one of the slides. Make those lists and then begin to check through them. Follow through the process, and let's see how best we can work to making a close, a deal out of those engagements. Thank you very much once again. It's nice having a time with you. The next class we go tomorrow again, 8 a.m. If you have questions, on this session I just made now, you can also write it down. Write your questions down. We can take our time to look at them after the class. We'll look at all the questions together and discuss extensively on them after the whole class. But don't forget, I've given us an assignment now already for us to go to your phone or your contact list, list your process. Use those strategies I gave to you, as a checklist, that can help you to check who qualifies and who does not qualify for your prospect. And then let's begin to go about formulating our pitches. So you have two assignments now: to make a prospect list and to formulate a pitch. I told you the pitch I'm formulating consists of a short note about yourself. I will send an example of a pitch I did like 2 weeks ago. I'll send an example to you, to the page right away after this class. Thank you very much, Mr. Diakola. Thank you, Mr. Kenny. Thank you very much, Mr. Biodu. Thanks so much for being around. Let's have a very nice day. Enjoy yourself. Start making sales. Start prospecting. You can make. There is no limit to how far you can go in this business. It's a very wide, wide world. You can make a whole lot out of it. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's have a nice time. Our time is up already. We continue tomorrow as God gives grace. Let's have a nice time.